Hey guys, welcome back to another video. It's match day 4 of my championship score predictions. So far, pretty interesting start to the championship season. A few shock results here and there, but other than that, so it's looking to be quite an interesting championship season. I think it's going to be wide open as to who can win it, who can get promotion and playoffs. I think it's all going to be open this season. There's not going to be outright people claiming it early and stuff like that, and claiming the title early and stuff like that. Obviously, we've seen Reading win 3 out of 3. So can they keep that up? We don't know. But anyway, we'll get straight into my predictions. And starting off tonight's game, Coventry City take on Bournemouth at St Andrews. Obviously, Coventry ground share in Birmingham. Coventry have had an interesting start to the season. I think it's 2 losses and a win, I believe. I'm not too sure on that one. But otherwise, pretty interesting start to the season. No real form looking to be sticking at Coventry. Whereas Bournemouth, on the other hand, 2 wins and 1 draw in the start of this season. I do think Bournemouth will continue that unbeaten run with a 2-1 win over Coventry tonight. I just think the players Bournemouth still have in their squad that are still playing for them at the minute, the likes of David Brooks, players like that. I think it's going to be a pretty comfortable win for Bournemouth. I think Coventry will give them a little bit of a scare during the game, but a pretty solid 2-1 win where Bournemouth will probably dominate the possession throughout the whole game, and it'll just be a defensive mistake that concedes the Coventry goal late on or something like that. Into the Saturday's game, and the early kickoff, Norwich City take on Derby County at Carrow Road. Norwich have had an interesting start to the season. 1 win, 1 draw and a loss they've had so far. Have Blackburn and Cardiff not Cardiff. Derby County, on the other hand, 3 losses out of 3. So not the best start for Derby. They will need to start picking their performances up as soon as possible, because a lot of people do tip Derby near enough every season to be up and around the playoffs. Whether they're finishing in the playoffs or just missing out, they're always up and around there every season. But for the start this season that they've had, it's been pretty poor. So I'm going to go with a Norwich City 2-0 win. Blackburn Rovers then take on Cardiff City. Blackburn have been in inspiring form at the beginning of this season. Obviously, only the 1 loss, which was against Bournemouth. But even then, they gave Bournemouth a very, very good game, and it ended 3-2 Bournemouth in the end. Other than that, they've had a 5-0 win and a 4-0 win. A 4-0 win coming against Derby County. So Blackburn been in some inspiring form at the minute. Obviously, it's too early to judge of where people might finish in the season. Obviously, Cardiff, on the other hand, have had a bit of a up and down start to the season. So based on pure form, I think, and pure players that have the confidence high at the minute, I'm going to go with Blackburn Rovers 2, Cardiff City 1. Luton Town then take on Wycombe Wanderers. Luton Town, another team that have been brilliant at the start of this season. 2 wins out of 2 in the first 2 games, and unfortunately did lose last weekend to closest rivals Watford in a 1-0 defeat at Vicarage Road. But other than that, Luton have been pretty solid. Since Nathan Jones came back just after lockdown, they've started to pick their performances back up. They have a clear indication of what they want to do this season, and they're performing the way they are wanting to. Wycombe, on the other hand, have had a pretty struggled start to the season. I believe it's 3 losses out of 3. One of them could have conceded 5 to Blackburn, so not the best not the best of starts for Wycombe. So I think it's going to be an easy, comfortable domination for Luton Town. I've gone Luton Town 3, Wycombe Wanderers 0. On to my team, Middlesbrough. We take on Barnsley at the Riverside. Now, we've just had some pretty good news today as I'm recording that apparently Patrick Roberts is signing on a season-long loan from Man City, which is brilliant. Had him on a short-term loan from January last season, and for the games he played, other than the injury he got, for the games he played in, it was fantastic. So good news to have him back. Obviously, he won't be playing against Barnsley, but we did play Barnsley a few weeks ago in the Carabao Cup at the Riverside, and we did lose 2-0, quite embarrassingly as well. I felt really embarrassed as a Borough fan that night, but hey ho, we forget about it, we move on. This is the league, and our performances in the league have been pretty solid so far. Obviously, only the one loss with 2 draws, so it's not the best of results, but our performances have been showing that we've had a massive progression from last season. So I do think we'll just cut it over Barnsley, and I think Middlesbrough 2-1. I think we will just scrape through in this game. Nottingham Forest take on Bristol City at the City Ground. Forest, again, another team that are normally predicted to be playoff promotion candidates. But this season have started with 3 losses out of 3 without even scoring a goal. Very poor from Nottingham Forest side. Sambri Lamucci will know the clock is running out. The clock is ticking for Sambri Lamucci, and I'm pretty sure he knows that he's got to start picking up performances, otherwise he will be gone. Bristol, on the other hand, have had a bit of an up and down start to the season. But other than that, I think Bristol have been quite solid. So I've gone with Nottingham Forest 1, Bristol City 2. Reading take on Watford. Again, Reading, like I say, 3 wins out of 3. Fantastic performances so far from Reading. They've really shown pure class so far. Watford, on the other hand, have been, for the squad they have, obviously they've had a few players coming back from injury slowly. The likes of Troy Deeney, Ismail Assar were all featured in the game against Luton Town last weekend. Reading, like I say, have been solid. Watford been up and down really, and I'm going to say this is going to end in a Reading 2-2 draw with Watford. Rotherham take on Huddersfield Town. Rotherham have been a bit of an interesting team. They're always that yo-yo team from coming up from League One and then going straight back down to League Two. Coming up from League One to the Championship and then going straight back down to League One. Their performances are all over the place, near enough every season they are in the Championship. Huddersfield, on the other hand, got a brilliant win against Nottingham Forest last time out. A fantastic goal from Fraser Campbell, I think it was. I'm not too sure who scored the goal. But what a strike it was, a very good volley. So Huddersfield have been pretty solid. The football they're looking to play under Carlos Calderon, I do think is implementing into the team very quickly, quicker than a lot of other people expected them to. So I'm going to go with a Huddersfield Town 1-0 win over Rotherham. Sheffield Wednesday then play QPR. Sheffield Wednesday, again, another interesting one, a bit of a mixed bag to the start of the season. The same with QPR, can really be said on that front. QPR's defence has been a bit shaky recently, whereas Sheffield Wednesday, could probably stay the same maybe. So I can only see this going one way. Sheffield Wednesday 1, QPR 1. Swansea City take on Millwall. Swansea have been solid from the start of this season. They've shown quality in the game. They're looking class all around the pitch. Millwall, on the other hand, obviously they are a team that is quite hard to predict, in my opinion, on a score prediction. They've been very, very, they can be class one game and then be absolutely dreadful the next. So I do think Swansea's quality will shine through on this game, and I've gone with Swansea City 2, Millwall 0. On to the Sunday games, and Brentford take on Preston North End. Brentford picked up a brilliant result last night against Fulham in the Carabao Cup. 3-0 win, I believe it was, with Said Benrahma scoring an outrageous goal through the legs of Hector and then just bent it into the bottom far corner. brilliant goal. Brentford, if Saeed Benrahma is going to be staying at Brentford this season, then that's a very, very good bit of transfer business to keep hold of him. Brentford are looking to pick up a bit of form and start picking up win after win and going on a bit of a run. The question is, will Brentford be able to do that? Don't know. Obviously, they've lost Ollie Watkins, which is obviously one of the main key areas of their front three last season. It's going to be an interesting one, but I do think Brentford will just scrape through on this one, and I've gone Brentford 2, Preston North End 1. And the last game of the weekend, Stoke City take on Birmingham City. Now, Stoke have been a bit of an interesting one again, and bit of a mixed bag start to the season. Birmingham have been pretty solid, I'd say. Not really much to comment on these two teams. Probably I've gone with the score prediction of Birmingham City 2, Stoke City 1. I do think Birmingham will come out with all 3 points in that game. Anyway, guys, that is my Matchday 4 Championship score predictions. Let me know yours in the comments below. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. If you enjoyed the video, give it a thumbs up. It would be massively appreciated. Like I say, if you're new, subscribe to the channel. Trying to grow. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.